11th class students, in this video I will be talking about how to converse on telephone or English for telephone. In your examination you will be asked to prepare a telephonic conversation on any situation and it will be carrying 7 marks. So your conversation should be based on the question being asked to you in your exams. For example, if you are asked to prepare a conversation between you and customer care executive of Airtel, BSNL or bank, if it is Airtel, BSNL or whatever SIM card you have, as you have recharged your number and the balance is not added, you are still unable to make outgoing calls. That means you have to develop a conversation where you will complain about that issue. So here comes the first slide. A conversation over the telephone. It should be brief and concise. So keep in mind the purpose, the reason for calling the other person, and frame your conversation. Develop a conversation that should be based on that very purpose. If it is a business call, always keep the suppose if the call is of if you are calling for any business purpose, just jot down the main points, important points you want to discuss, and choose the most appropriate time. Suppose you are calling bank manager or their employees, as you have received a message of cash deduction, so you will call during office hours. Proper attention to non-verbal skills. Since you are talking on phone, you have to be careful about the words you choose, about the words you use, your tone, and similarly pay attention to what other person is speaking without interrupting. Now coming to the next slide. So you call somebody, and then what do? You greet and you introduce yourself. For example, you say, "Hello, this is ABC. My name is ABC. My name is Ali. My name is Mohan. This is Kamal here." You will introduce yourself while opening a call and then asking for a connection. For example, confirm whether you are speaking to the person you actually called. For example, you called someone, you will have to see the person you called, whether he's on the other side or his manager or his assistant, or somebody else has picked up your call. So you will see whether you are speaking to a right person or not. You will say, for example, "I would like to speak Mr. ABC. Can I speak to Mr. ABC? Could you put me through?" Then you cannot just say, "I have a complaint regarding this and that." Firstly, you have to greet, you have to introduce, and uh, then you will check whether you are talking to a right person or not. Then after that, you will start the exact conversation. So you will after this connection, you will check after connection whether you are speaking to the right person. Suppose if somebody has transferred your call to the person you are about to speak, so you will see if he is the actual person. Is that Shalla? Is that ABC? Are you the person responsible for this and that? Then after that comes the actual conversation. Ask for information. So you will say about the issue you are going to talk about, or the other person will, if it's about any complaint or something like that. Suppose you are a customer care executive of anything, for example, of bank, telephone exchange, and someone has called you, then you will ask and you will try to know the reason the other person has called or what the complaint is about. There will be an exchange of information about the issue, the reasons behind the problem. So for example, if you are a customer care of ABC bank, the person has called you to know why he has not received the deducted amount after 24 hours or something like that. So he will discuss his problem with you, and then your response will be accordingly, that you will give reasons why this problem happened, and then you will promise, your words will be like that, yes sir, you will assure him that the issue will get resolved soon. You will say like, I will deal it with myself. Or if it is about any something like you bought a washing machine or refrigerator, then there is a complaint, suppose it's not working or something like that, then you will say, I will organize a replacement or something like that. You will this is called as promise of action, and then you will close your conversation accordingly. You will say, I apologize once again. And then comes the next slide. Then both of you will your conversation will come to an end, and then there will be some extra details, further action, could you send me an email or something like that. Similarly, one more example for you, I guess it's more appropriate or relevant to you people these days. For example, uh, students are not attending online offline classes these days, so you have to develop or prepare a telephonic conversation between you and your students. Now what will you do? um, of course the conversation should be brief, to the point, and suppose I'm your teacher, I have to develop a conversation and I'm going to call you. Fine. Suppose I'm trying to call you. I somewhere I got a number. Now I'm going to call that number, and I will talk about why he or she is not attending online offline classes. So my conversation will be brief, concise, to the point, and I shall call on the appropriate time. So while making a call, I will identify myself. I will say, hello, this is English teacher from BHSS Handwara. And then I will try to see whether I'm calling the right person or not. I will say, am I speaking to my student Ali, or ABC, or Tehseen, or Zubair, Zahur? I have my students. So I will confirm whether I am speaking to them or not. Maybe their father, his father received the call. Then I will say, can I speak to Mr. Tehseen, Zahur, or Zubair, something like that. Then maybe his father handed his phone to his ward. Then I will see the person who is holding a phone, is he the right person I'm going to talk or not. Then I will say, is that Tahseen, is that Zahur, or something like that, is that ABC. Then after that, I will talk about the exact issue I wanted to talk about. Like I will tell them, I will tell him that what's the problem, you are not attending your online offline classes. Then then he will exchange the information accordingly. Maybe my student will say, ma'am, I was not having a smartphone, ma'am, there was some network issue. Then he will close his conversation, we will close the conversation accordingly, sorry ma'am. And the promise of action, ma'am, I will surely attend my classes from tomorrow onwards, this is my promise. Then I will say, okay, if you do not attend your classes, I will call you again, or something like that. I will close my conversation accordingly. Okay, fine. There is one more example. This is from your book. I clicked a photo of it and pasted it here. Abhishek wants an air booking from Delhi to Pune. He calls up a travel agent to inquire about the fare structure and book a ticket for himself. So Abhishek is going to Pune from Delhi, and he wants an air ticket, and also he wants to know about the fare structure. So the conversation will be regarding the air ticket and fare. So here is Abhishek called the other person, Rahul. Abhishek is saying, hello, is that SK Travels PVT Limited? You can write anything. the travel agent's name is written there, you will write their name, or you can write anything for ABC Travels Limited. And the other person says, yes sir. And Abhishek says, I want an air ticket for Delhi to Pune on 2nd June. You have to mention dates. Monday, if it is available, can I get one? And then Rahul says, sure, sir, let me check. Abhishek then says, also let me know the fare, because in your question is it is asked to, yeah, inquire about the fare. So you will mention this also. Also let me know the fare. Rahul, it is 7,000. Abhishek then replies, kindly book one ticket for me. I will text you the details and send it on my office address. And here he writes the office address. And then he closes the conversation. Okay, sir, I will send it by noon. Abhishek then replies, I have transferred the amount in your account. Rahul then says, yes, sir, we received it. Thank you. Thank you, students.